manager. But you know, it's good to see that some of these startups have heard of us and what we do in their own country, and feel that it's of value enough for them to actually apply and want to come to Southeast Asia.
So, sorry to ask,
Yeah.
how do you guys to approach that 26 or maybe 36 country?
We didn't go to all 36 countries
So
actually.
you visit all
Only
of
in
them?
Asia. So our roadshow is always Asia focused. We don't go beyond Asia just yet. But our startups travel around the world.
Alright.
So for example, we had an application in the last cohort from Korea, from South Korea. And it so happened that this Korean startup was the winner of Seed Star in Korea and was competing in Switzerland. And two of our startups that we incubated were also winners and also competing in Switzerland. So they met each other and said, hey, look, if you're thinking about coming to Southeast Asia, consider our program. So he actually applied, and we were quite curious, like this application coming from, it was the only one from South Korea, and we selected them partly because they were good enough to get in. We actually, because of that, we made a journey to South Korea to check out the ecosystem there, and we were there beginning of this month, and met up with him, and he was actually our biggest supporter, and when we were doing the roadshow, he actually came up and spoke about his journey applying for our accelerator program and also other accelerator programs around the world. He told us that he had been accepted, I don't know whether it's applied or accepted to 20 over accelerator programs around the world, and he picked ours. Partly because Southeast Asian market is a market that he's been thinking about coming in. It's just that up until now he didn't know what is the best way to get in. So our accelerator program becomes his gateway to Southeast Asia, basically. So because of that, and our roadshow was quite successful, now Korea is actually has the second largest amount of application for our second batch, just behind Malaysia.
And do you have any partner maybe in those countries?
We do now. Before that, we do have a partnership through one of the co-working space in Seoul, but through this trip, so every time we go on a roadshow, we develop partnerships in those markets. So now if you were to go to Seoul, we have 2 or 3 co-working spaces